Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the My Team career mode here on F122. Glad that you're continuing to enjoy this series here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. Please do continue to drop the videos a thumbs up and make sure you leave your comment with your feedback in the comment section down below. It really helps push the content to new users, so thank you very much indeed for doing so, and welcome those of you that are new to the channel since we started this save. We are at Miami today, round 5 of the FIA Formula 1 World Championship. It's a track that I'm not very good at, so I don't know how competitive I'm going to be here. I loved racing at Imola. The entire Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in the last episode was just mental. All of it, from start to finish. Hopefully we can have just as much action here in Miami. Of course, no sprint race this time around, just the regular 3 practice sessions, then quali, then the Grand Prix. I hesitate to say I'm probably going to come last here, but we shall wait and see. It's fully dry for most sessions, although as you can see, there is perhaps some rain on the horizon for practice 3. That shouldn't be a problem. Then we do some new upgrades on the car. The rear downforce Venturi totals have been done, and weight distribution has been helped with a new rear floor under tray. So fingers crossed the car will be a little bit better. We're still 9th fastest on the performance index, 3rd slowest. But we have more stuff in the works, and that should be with us hopefully sooner rather than later. You can see how everyone else is taking a bit of a step up, whereas we've been at plateau for a bit and now started to make an incline. So we've dropped back towards Aston Martin and Williams, but fingers crossed it won't be long before we really start making some strides forward and start to move on up through that performance index. Can you tell what our most popular position is so far this season? Talk about consistency. 15th, 15th, 15th. Plan today, try and not finish 15th here in Miami. Whether that's above or below 15th, time will tell. But we'll give it our best shot to finish above 15th. I've got a brand new rivalry. That happened at the end of the last episode. Daniel Ricciardo is now my rival moving forward. He's been underperforming all season long. But with the improvements that McLaren have been making to their car, maybe he'll be a little bit more competitive this weekend. We shall wait and see. Like I say, though, drop the video a like. Make sure you leave me your feedback in the comment section down below. I'll try and be as fast as I possibly can around this Miami GP circuit, and fingers crossed it'll be a good one. 32.3. What was the last one? 32.7. Yeah, the custom one is a lot quicker. So we've found for the first time this season that the custom setup from simracingsetup.com is the quicker one for me personally than the preset. So we will be running a full custom setup for the first time here in Miami, more so than we have done by using the default setups basically for every track prior. So we'll see if that makes a difference. Hopefully it will do. We'll try and be as quick as we possibly can. We managed to max out the race strategy and the track acclimatization, but the quality pace I was nowhere near whatsoever. So we'll wait and see. We'll retire from the session. To be fair, we're never normally near the quali pace one anyway, whether that be this game, the last one, or even F120. We never really got near to a lot of the quali time ones. It just seems to be a little bit too far ahead of, or expect a little bit too much of you. But I'm relatively happy with how that session went, or the 2 sessions in practice. So we'll head to qualifying now with that custom setup, with enough new parts in the car. Because in the process of the 2 practice sessions, we changed the MTUH, the turbocharger, and the gearbox. So we now have a fresh turbo, a fresh MTUH, and a fresh gearbox. Still running a relatively worn ICE at 38%. MTUK is at 33%. Energy storage at 35%. So we're still going to be slightly down on power, but I'm hoping that we'll be more competitive than initially I thought we might be. So let's go to qualifying and try and get ourselves into Q2 if we possibly can. So our first lap in quali is a 30.9, which puts me just ahead of Daniel Ricciardo, actually, who is, of course, our rival now, having selected him at the end of the last Grand Prix weekend. So tyres really don't... The soft tyres don't seem to be that good a race tyre at any circuit so far. They're just kind of a quali tyre and then don't touch them at all for the rest of the race weekend, which is quite peculiar, actually. That first lap has me P13, which is not great because there's still 4 drivers left to set a time, and we were slower than the Williams there of Alex Albon. Did a 30.7. I think Teo's near the back. He is indeed. Right, let me put a fresh set of tyres on then, and we'll try and get ourselves into the next part of qualifying. Carlos Sainz to go and set a lap that is certainly fast enough, unless Carlos isn't going to set a lap at all, which it seems like he's running the risk of doing so. So currently P14, but certainly expect Lando to improve, Daniel to improve. Lewis Hamilton will improve from in front of us. Right, let's see what we can do. I'll try and get a better time. I don't know if there was much left on the table, though, from that first lap. Currently, just over half a tenth slower. Yeah, traction is rubbish on controller. It's really hard to manage. Teo keeps locking up everywhere, which isn't necessarily helping him, and I just am struggling to get the power down. I'm not going to improve my time. We're going to set basically the same 2 times. Although, judging by my steering wheel, we are P16. And by the skin of our tiny little teeth, we are through to Q2. But only just. Only just. The Williams of Alex Albon was actually faster than us in the end. Carlos Sainz did go out and put a lap in and was only 9 1/1000ths off Charles Leclerc. Lewis Hamilton, only in P15 for him, which is a poor lap. But we did a 30.9, and that was enough to get us through by a 1/10.5, so we had a little bit of breathing room there to Lance Stroll. 2 seconds off the pace. Teo Pourchaire was 7 tenths off me, which is worrying for him. We need to perhaps try and put some more impetus on his on the activities to try and improve his overall stats, and maybe put some money into developing our second driver. Although at this stage, whilst we're not really competing for points regularly, I don't know whether that's money well spent. It might be money wasted. We might be better off saving it and putting it into the team rather than the second driver, then just sign a better second driver later down the line. Both McLarens out in Q1, a 31.3 for Daniel, a 31.6 for Lando Norris. We're ahead of one of the Alfa Romeos, one of the Williams, one of the Aston Martins into the next session. And to be fair, we're quite close, within a 10th of Alex Albon, so maybe we could perhaps do a little bit better in Q2, but I probably expect me to still qualify 16th again, but we'll try and go a bit quicker if we can. I don't know whether they're taking a different line, but my lap time is good enough for P9. Good enough for P9 there. Now, is that... Are we going to have people behind us further improve, or have we just pulled out a lap there from nowhere and managed to get ourselves through? I'm not sure. Still waiting for some drivers to finish. We're currently I think someone improved right at the end, but actually I still think that was a decent lap time. P11. Mick Schumacher has a 5-place grid penalty though, so we will move up the grid a little bit. The top 10 are Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton, Alonso, Bottas, Perez, Ocon and Schumacher. They'll obviously have the chance to go again in Q3, but 29.9, that's a full second faster with track evolution than our previous time. My Q1 time would have been enough for P15, because would have finished ahead of Gasly, who seemingly didn't go out again, which is a surprise. Really tough with that qualifying. Like, I do expect us to go backwards a little bit throughout the course of the Grand Prix, but you never know. We might be able to pull something out the bag with strategy. We shall wait and see. So has there been much change with the front of the grid from that Q3 session? Expecting us to start P10, Charles first and Max gets P2. Is that because Sainz has taken a penalty and wasn't as quick, or wasn't as quick? Sainz is P3, so he lost a bit of time. Russell, Hamilton, Perez. So the top 6 are who you would expect, just not necessarily in the order you'd expect them. Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and then myself as Mick Schumacher took that penalty. Tsunoda, Vettel, Albon, Magnussen. We're significantly ahead of our rival. There's Mick Schumacher with his penalty. Stroll, Ricciardo's P18. He's my rival, of course. Zhou, Teo Pourchaire, and then Norris and Latifi. Only the one penalty then for Mick. One grid penalty. Let's see what we need to do race strategy-wise. We'll have a look to see what everyone else is doing. The majority starting on hards further up, and softs further back. One medium starter there in Valtteri Bottas. 14 laps, 29 laps, 14 laps. Again, probably expecting to get lapped. So perhaps that is the way forward. That's the one we'll do. Soft, medium, soft. But we are expecting tyre wear to be quite high, so it may be a case of going soft, medium, hard, which would be a shame. Oh, I'm torn, actually. I'm really torn. I could go soft, hard, soft. I think we might have to end up going soft, medium, hard, but we shall give it a real go to go soft, medium, soft. The weather is supposed to be dry throughout, so we're not expecting to have to worry about that at all. So 14 laps on the softs, 29 laps on the mediums, 14 laps on the softs. That's the plan. Let's see if the plan works. 4 lights, 5 lights, and we're off. Try and stay out of trouble this time. Everyone's just getting caught up on the apex. Seb, surely he's cut the corner there and gained time. That seems particularly illegal to me. But he seems to have gotten away with it. Oh, heavy car, not much downforce. Try and hold on around the outside of Alex Albon. There we go. Again, they have got me on the straights, it seems. And to use my battery just to stay up with them. They are quick down the straights, it seems. Oh, God. Too busy looking at Albon behind me. Now Albon's beside me. Try and hold it on around the outside. Nip up the inside there and keep the position. Now we're single file through here, absolutely. There's no way you can't go single file through there. Now presumably they will just dominate me down the straight again. So P12 after lap 1. Couple of places lost, which we expected. Not necessarily to Seb Vettel leaping over the inside curb at turn 1, but he doesn't seem to have gotten any sort of penalty for it. Maybe just a warning, lap 1 incident, but I certainly feel like it deserves some sort of penalty. I think I've got the opposition on the in the turns, but on the straights they very much have the edge. As you can see, I'm having to use my battery just to stay up here. If I don't use my battery, it's just pulling away from me. Might be the space to go for a move here though. Maybe. It'd be from a long way back. We're going for it. Up the inside of Yuki Tsunoda is going to try and switch back, but we'll get that done. Up to P11. Up to P11 then. DRS enabled now. We are within a second of the car in front. And we are just outside of DRS zone to Yuki behind, so hopefully he won't have it and we can open up a bit of a gap. And we'll try and stick with those in front. I'm not thinking about maybe making moves yet at this stage. Esteban Ocon on the hards is, well, to be fair, everybody ahead of Vettel probably is on a hard tyre, aren't they? I would imagine. We are pulling away from those behind though. Like I say, oh nope. Race director. I do believe everyone in front is on hards, apart from Valtteri. Look, Valtteri's on mediums, but everyone else, other than Seb that's directly in front of me, they're all on hard tyres. And Yuki behind, and both the Hasses are on hards. Teo's made up 2 positions, which is good. Daniel's made up 3. Who's gone backwards then? Lance Stroll's gone backwards. Zhou Guanyu's gone backwards. No pit stops or first lap incidents though, so a clean start to the race for everybody. Now dropping those behind because of them not being in my DRS is going to drastically help our strategy. Lap 14 we're trying to get to. We are on lap 4 on already at nearly 15% wear on my rear tyres. It is a tyre killer, this circuit, it seems. A concertina up something chronic at that last heavy turn. Throughout that last heavy braking zone. Gap behind is nearly 3 seconds now, but Daniel Ricciardo's making moves. To be fair, they're all making moves. They've seen off Yuki Tsunoda, that's the difference. They've gotten past Yuki on those hards. And now they're starting to close in on me again. Well, we made the most of it whilst we could. P11 so far is good enough for me. I'm happy enough with that. I'm just content at the minute, staying in the DRS zone of those in front. I'll try and save my battery as best I can. Kind of safe in the knowledge that throughout the turns, I can kind of close that gap back up in between the DRS zones. I'm fast enough through the slow and twisty bits that anything I lose on the straight, I can gain back up. 4 seconds, the gap behind now. Still just kind of holding the gap. Thanks for the follow, Charlie and Miller. Welcome to the channel, lads. Not much action in the opening 8 laps or so, but there is a yellow flag in front for something. What it's for, I'm not sure. Safety car deployed. Charles Leclerc in the wall. Charles Leclerc in the wall. We are changing strategy, and we're dipping into the pits. Now, I'm just going to check and see what happened to Charles there. Is he out of the race? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. So is he? I think he might just have dropped it. It seems he's just dropped it on the curb. Spun around. Has he lost any tyres? Let's have a look. Go off board with him. Is he going to lose any tyres? No, just front wing damage for Charles Leclerc. Can he get out of there, though? He's going to have to wait until everyone's gone past. So we're pitting and stopping for another set of softs to then go on to mediums. A lot of other people are pitting too. We're going to need a quick stop here, please, lads. Perfect turning. We're going to mediums. They've put mediums on, and we've jumped Seb in the pits. We've jumped Sebastian Vettel in the pits. I thought they were going to put me onto softs. They've not. They've put me onto mediums. We're still P11. We've lost 1 position on track. That to Yuki Tsunoda.
Okay, slow down.
But we are
negative, which means you're going too fast. Reduce your pace.
But we're still P11 because we've then jumped Seb in the pits. Safety car in this lap. There you go, confirmation. Safety car will disappear down the road. That makes Max Verstappen now. Max Verstappen is now the front car. He turns into the default safety car. Trying to keep my temperatures up here. Moving my front tyres around a little bit. Safety car will be in momentarily and then we'll be underway again with drivers in front of us on worn hards. Right, so let's just have a recap. As we're about to get underway again, everybody in front of us is still running on the tyres that they started the Grand Prix on. So their tyres will be worn. We are the front runner of those that have not yet pit. Although we are on mediums now, and Sebastian Vettel and Ricciardo are on softs behind. Gasly's gone to hards. A number of others have gone to softs. Albon went to hards early, of course. Mick Schumacher, did he make an early stop as well? He did make an early stop on lap 6. For a set of softs from front wing damage, and obviously Charles Leclerc had to stop because, well, he caused the bloody safety car, so... I'm hoping that our tyre wear will work in our favour. But the soft tyres on everyone else, those behind, are just going to be so quick. Oh, but Seb's just driven into K-Mag. That's not going to help you race, Sebastian. He's probably going to have to pit for front wing now. That's Sebastian Vettel taking damage. Daniel Ricciardo on those soft tyres. He's trying to have a look at me, but I closed the door a little bit. Now he's having a look around the other side. I'll try and hold him off. No DRS for 2 laps, of course, after a safety car restart. Leaving just enough racing room. I'll have to use my battery a bit to stay in touch, but stay in touch we will be able to do. So we want these tyres to go to lap 42 if possible. We need to do 30 laps on these tyres. I don't know if that's going to work. Daniel's gone to make a move. I went defensive, but he's gone earlier than I did. So Daniel's going to be through. I think Seb is going to pit for a front wing here. I'm pretty sure, and indeed he does. So we will get P11 back again because Sebastian Vettel damaged his car trying to brake before he hit Kevin Magnussen into turn 1. He overtook me, then hit K-Mag, so that's his own fault, I'm afraid. So we may find ourselves running a bit higher and well in the points later in the Grand Prix when those cars in front make their first pit stop. But I don't know if it's going to make too much difference to our overall position because basically everybody now has to make one more stop. So it is effectively status quo again. This is basically where we are in the race. It hasn't changed too much, really, about our race. It just means we've lost less time in a pit stop. But because so many people pit, it's not really made much difference. I have a new set of hards and a new set of softs, but I don't have any medium tyres to go to at all. So it will be a straight choice. Softs or hards. If we think the softs can get us there, we'll go for softs. If we don't think we've got enough tyre life left in the softs to make it to the end, then we'll have to go for the hards. Zhou Guanyu is behind now on his softs. He's making moves forward. I think frustratingly, when we were trying to make the strategy change, our team, or I didn't press the button on the right one and I accidentally kept the strategy I was on rather than getting a different strategy. The plan, I think, from the team was to put me on another set of soft tyres, and I pressed the wrong button, selected the wrong strategy, and we kept the one that we're on. So I don't know whether that worked for us or against us in the long run. Time will tell. Zhou Guanyu will stick with us, but he's out of DRS range of Gasly on his hards behind. So that is going to, again, help us pull away from the gaggle of cars that are behind. And with K-Mag, etc. on their worn hards now, if we can get past them, then that will significantly help our race. We're going to have to try and use our tyre advantage to our advantage and try and get past Kevin Magnussen and those in front of us on hard tyres if we can. So Leclerc pit again. He did. Jesus Christ, Charles. He is not having a great season, is he, Charles Leclerc? Whether his engine's going bang, whether he's having technical faults, whether he's just crashing all the time. Charles Leclerc is the unluckiest driver in Formula 1. Confirmed. Whether it's real life or video game. I couldn't tell you at this point whether we'll go forwards and get points in this Grand Prix or whether we'll go backwards and finish 15th again. It could go either way, really, because I don't have that luxury of space behind me anymore. I'm going to be in trouble myself into some of these braking zones. Zhou Guanyu is going to go aggressive. But we're going to hold him off. But kind of having to go deep into the braking zone to avoid being overtaken, but at the same time I can't go too deep into the braking zone because I'll hit the car in front. I'm in a really awkward position now. This is not good for us. At the same time, I'm trying to make my tyres last as long as possible. Pretty sure we're going to end up on hards at the end of the race at this stage, unless there's another safety car. I haven't got the pace to get past Daniel to then try and have a crack at the others. Their soft tyres will go off soon though, so that will make them vulnerable, or at least they'll pit. There's not really much I can do against Guanyu Zhou here at the minute. Now Lance Stroll is only 1.5 seconds back down the line, as well as he's passed Pierre Gasly too. I think we're going to drop back a little bit here with a view to coming forward again when these soft runners pit for a second time. Although they are starting to get a little bit more feisty in front now, it seems. Side by side. Ricciardo's actually having a go at K-Mag, who nearly lost it there. K-Mag got really out of shape. His back end stepped like mad. Daniel Ricciardo is through. Oh, dearie me, this is just unfathomable. You just can't... It's so hard to figure out what to do strategy-wise. Or what everyone else is doing strategy-wise too. I'm going to miss Lando just. Oh, that was close. Actually, Lando is a bit distracted there. And we've been able to nip in front of him again. Thank you for P13, Lando. Again, I've got nothing on Lando. Just gonna have to settle for being behind the McLaren for the time being.
Try to stay with them. They might make a mistake, and we could still regain the position.
We have made a mistake, and we have regained it. He's turned into me there, Lando. I'm not sure what he's doing there. I'm on the inside. He's locked up, made a mistake. I've then gone for the move, and he's tried to turn in on me. He's locked up. So I've gone, okay, I'll have that then. And then he's turned in super sharp, Lando. Not acknowledged the fact that I'm there. There is definitely a passing opportunity there. That is an open door as he's locking up and going on. I then go for the inside line. He turns across into me and we get stuck on each other. Get off me, Lando. Those soft runners are all pitting now. Their tyres didn't last that long at all. Those that pit for softs under the safety car have now all stopped. So Surely they have to stop another time after this as well. Unless they go to hards, there's no way they can put a set of mediums on and go to the end. Surely, not judging by our medium wear.
Okay,
Us
Teo's
up
in the pits. Teo in the pits.
into P11 again. Seems to be our default position in this Grand Prix. Now, on our mediums, we should hopefully be able to go a lot further than those around us are going on their hards. I'm praying anyway. At least the gaps behind are opening up. Alex Albon's a full 9 seconds back now in that Williams. They're going for it in front. Yuki's having a look. Sorry, K-Mag's having a look at Yuki. That will slow them up on this apex, which will bring them back to me. And if they continue to battle into turn 1, we really will be into contention with them. They are continuing to battle into turn 1. Those in front, those that were in front, those hard tyre runners are starting to pit. Here comes Lewis Hamilton out of the pits on a set of mediums right into the racing line. Hello, Lewis. Let's go and catch those in front, shall we, pal? Let me have some DRS, please. I don't know as their mediums go to the end, do they? If they do, they're going to be so worn. Lewis coming out in front of us and giving us DRS could be a godsend, actually. If we can just stick with him. Yeah, he's not stopping. Yuki Tsunoda, however, is. Tsunoda pitting. And K-Mag pit as well. And Ocon. And Russell. Never mind, Russell's out ahead of us. So we're now P7. So this is going to be a bit of a lonely spell. We are now going to be on our own for a bit. Just trying to go as far and as fast as possible as we can on this set of medium tyres before we then switch to hards at the end of the Grand Prix to take us to the end. But we've got a hard tyre runner, Gasly, behind us. So until Alonso passes him and starts to catch, we are going to be on our own in front and on our own behind. I think Lewis has pit there from behind Russell. He must have picked up wing damage. Gasly's now pitting from his hards. Lewis is pitting for a front wing. He'll have had a coming together with George Russell there as they tried to fight when George came out of the pits. I bet Lewis came around here, went onto the racing line and then just clouted his teammate. So we're up to P6 for the time being, but we're just going to get gobbled by everybody behind now. Without Gasly there as a buffer, I'm just a sitting duck. Here's Fernando. Thankfully, the gap behind Fernando and Esteban is quite sizable back to an Alfa Romeo. Which Alfa Romeo it is, I'm not sure. Not going to be able to fight Fernando much down this straight at all.
Ahead is 5.9 seconds.
Fernando is faster than you. You confirm you received the message. Because Mick had a penalty. You're going that way, are you? Okay. Wasn't expecting you to go around the outside of me, to be completely honest.
You can win that place back.
I bet you I can't. Well, we're trying to last until that 42 before we pit again, but I don't think we will. I'll try and get as far as 35 before pitting onto my hard tyres. No! Teammates out the race! Teo Pourchaire retires. Presumably it's an engine. Well, it's not an engine, but a technical fault of some description. Our teammate's retiring. No, Theo. Can you make it back to the pits from there? I mean, maybe. The pits are at the end of that straight, aren't they? Oh no, that's not the straight. I'm on that straight. Oh, yeah. Teo says race is over. He's not going to make it back to the pits. He's stopped on track now. So I'll try and get to that 35 and then stop for hards. Because these tyres just will not last. These tyres definitely won't last until lap 42. There's just absolutely no way. Not with any sort of pace anyway. I could probably make them last without getting a puncture, etc. But I'd be so slow, it'd be pointless. I don't know if I like the track or not, Mark, to be honest. I can't say is it...
Aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
I don't know if it really
Caution, caution.
stands out to me as a track that I love. I don't hate it, but I don't particularly like it either, if you know what I mean. I entirely despise this part of the track. Really hate that part of the track. And this bit. That whole section is just painful.
The gap to the car in front is 3.7 seconds.
So I imagine K-Mag behind us isn't pitting again.
Magnussen's behind you.
He's going to try and go to the end on the mediums. He's got to take them 30
They're on
laps.
fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. Time last lap was a 1:33.3.
Surely there's no way their medium tyres go 30 laps. Like, these laps have done 20, and they're 35% worn. Maybe they could go... They'll be really slow at the end of the Grand Prix, but maybe they can go all the way. Right, I'm going to follow K-Mag around for a lap, and then we'll pit on 35. Someone was in the pits. I think it was Mick Schumacher. He's coming out of the pits now, next to me, behind me. New strategy. It's actually offering me a new strategy of going to softs on 41, but
Got that confirmed.
I'm still going to switch to hards next. And now. So pitting then. On lap 35. For a set of hard tyres to take us to the end. We'll drop out of the points. Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton behind me is also pitting. Optimal turn-in, good. Good pit stop.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Right, these tyres are going to take a little while to warm up as well. Come out the pits in P12, but we've got loads of... Too busy talking to you guys. Coming out the pits in P12. And everyone around us is on mediums. So our tyres are nearly up to temperature now. Everyone around us is on a set of medium tyres to the end. So Lewis Hamilton may have to stop again. Daniel won't. Lando Norris won't. I don't know how far back they'll have to have a look at the minimap, but I certainly expect to get swallowed by Zhou, Albon and Lewis Hamilton. We'll have a look at the minimap bottom left, and everyone is just a little bit further down the road. So we may end up going a number of positions back before the end of the Grand Prix behind both McLarens. And obviously, with Daniel Ricciardo being my rival now, I would very much like to not fall behind the McLarens, but I might not have too much say in the matter. Everybody say, bye, Lewis. Bye. Oh, big lock up from Lewis Hamilton. Squeezed out of it. I'm going to try and stick with Lewis as best I can here, so try and extend that gap behind. I don't want Zhou Guanyu to get within DRS range of me. Ricciardo's now past Albon. Both the McLarens are past the Williams behind. I probably see us finishing about 15th or 16th at this rate. Maybe a little bit further back. But we will defend for all our might when the time comes. Lando's gotten past his teammate. The McLaren's having a bit of a fight. The longer the McLarens battle each other back there, and Alex Albon might be able to get involved as well if he can stay within DRS. Just allows me a little bit more time to get as close as possible to the end of the race. I don't think we're going to stand a chance of getting lapped. So we are going to have to do the full 57 laps for the first time. We're going to have to go 100% race distance. We've kind of done 97% race distance in the first 4 Grand Prix of the season, where we got lapped in every Grand Prix. But I don't think they're going to catch us for the floor damage. Isn't helping me in a straight line, that's for sure. Thanks for the follow, Dutchies. Or Dutchie CS. Welcome to the channel, mate. Is he going for it? He is. It's supposed to be a long way wide. So Guan Yu's got me. Got a little bit too close for comfort there. I wasn't sure exactly where he was on my inside. He swung across and I very nearly caught the back end of him. I'll try and stick with Zhou Guan Yu if I can, but I don't think I will be able to. We're able to stay in Zhou Guan Yu's DRS, which is really going to help us stay ahead of Daniel. Whether we're going to be able to keep Lando at bay, I don't expect it, to be honest. At the minute, I am able to stick with Zhou. Just using my battery at the right places in the right way. Lando's very much with us now. He'll probably pass me on this straight now, Lando Norris. I'm not going to fight it because I want to save my battery. My battle at the minute is with Zhou Guan Yu. I think we're fighting over P14 with Zhou Guan Yu between now and the end of the race. Lando should take Zhou and then disappear down the road a little bit. Hopefully they don't. Well, hopefully they continue to battle and end up causing each other damage, which will allow us the opportunity to take them both. But we're either going to finish 12th, 13th, or 14th in this Grand Prix. I'm pretty sure. Andy, thank you very much for the second month, my man. Appreciate that very much indeed. Thank you, mate. Soft tyres on the car. Oh, no, here comes the Hamilton then. Okay, maybe we won't be finishing 12th, 13th, or 14th. It might be 13th, 14th, or 15th, because there's no way we keep Lewis Hamilton behind, is there? Right, so for those of you coming back from watching Quali, let's give you a recap as to where we are. So we're on lap 46 of 57, I think. Max Verstappen currently leads from Carlos and George Russell and Sergio Perez, sorry. Everybody in the top 6 has just been able to go 1 stop. We've obviously 2 stopped because of the safety car. A number of other cars have pit countless times. Lewis is literally right behind me. Lando Norris and Zhou Guan Yu are literally right in front of me. We've a 5 or 6 second gap back to Daniel Ricciardo in 16th. So I think we're going to finish either 13th, 14th or 15th. We'll find out. We have 10 laps to go. Let's see what we can do. Lewis is going for it on me. Norris is going for it on Zhou Guan Yu. Both of the attacking drivers are through. I'm going to try and get Zhou Guan Yu before the end of the race, if I can. Or Lewis, I don't know whether he made contact there with the back of the Alfa Romeo, but certainly he got well offline. I've been trying to save my battery a little bit so that I can have a go at Zhou Guan Yu before the end of the Grand Prix. Hopefully we will get that opportunity. We say lap 48 of 57, so still 10 laps to go. We haven't been lapped, so we are going to complete the full race distance. Although the leaders are not that far behind now. If you look at the mini-map, they are just behind Daniel Ricciardo. So we may get lapped before the end. I want to try and stay within a second of them so I can get DRS. Lewis having a look at Zhou Guan Yu again through the same part of the track as he did last lap, and this time it looks like he might get it done. He has gotten it done. Lewis is up to P13. Now, hopefully, Zhou Guanyu might be a bit vulnerable between now and the end of the Grand Prix. The leaders are definitely coming. They're about to lap Daniel Ricciardo directly behind us. I'm not sure if Zhou Guanyu got DRS there. Don't think he did. I think he's too far behind Lewis now. Lewis is going for it on Lando down the road. And Lewis is through against Lando Norris down the road. Now my aim between now and the end of the Grand Prix is to get past Zhou Guanyu. How successful we are with that remains to be seen, but he is on older medium tyres than us. He's on mediums that are older than our hards, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So his tyres are definitely going to be more worn than ours. It's a case of whether they go off by enough for us to be able to take advantage of that between now and lap 6 really, because we're going to be getting lapped very soon. Crucially, Zhou isn't getting DRS down this straight, but he's going to let Carlos through. And he will get DRS off him down the main straight. No, Zhou Guanyu's pitting. Zhou Guanyu is pitting. Well, thank you very much, pal.
Zhou is stopping now.
Why is he stopped? He must have bumped front wings with someone, maybe. Maybe he bumped front wings with Verstappen as he was getting lapped, but he's definitely pitting. We'll keep an eye on the... I'll have a look at the race director once he's come out the pits, and we'll see if maybe he did get front wing damage. But thanks for the position, mate. That's going to be P14 for us. We are not going to finish 15th for the 4th time in 5 races. It's to be 15th, 15th, 9th, 15th and 14th here in Miami, because we're not going to close the 7.2 seconds to Bottas, and we're not going to get closed by 7.9 seconds behind to Ricciardo. So for the remaining 3 laps, because we only have 3 laps left, we're only going to lap 56 now. He had a collision with Norris on lap 47, but that wouldn't have affected him too much. Yep, he must have had a bump. He must have had a bump with Max Verstappen letting him through. And he's pit for a fresh set of tyres and a new front wing. And we'll take P14. Thank you, Guanyu Zhou. Or Zhou Guanyu. Very much indeed. Well, that's a fairly simple final 3 laps for us then. It's hard very much. We can just take it easy. Although not too easy. But we can look after our parts. Look after our engine and try not to wear it too much. And be very happy indeed with P14. Well, the leaders are on their final lap. We are now on ours, lap 56 of 57. For a little while there, I didn't think we were actually going to get lapped, so we might have been able to see the whole race distance through. But no, we haven't quite been able to do it. Another pretty action-packed Grand Prix with a lot of either offensive driving or defensive driving that needed to be done. Cars around us for the majority of the Grand Prix, whether that be because of the safety car or from people's comings together with other drivers, leading them to go into pit and us closing them down as they needed a new front wing. But in the end, we ran basically the strategy we wanted to. The soft tyres were never going to last long enough to take us to the end. We would have had to have gone soft, medium, hard regardless of whether there was a safety car or not. We wouldn't quite have made it far enough. Tyre wear here at Miami is very high, and we'll have to bear that in mind for next season when we come back here. But 8.5 seconds in front, 8.5 seconds behind. A little bit of no man's land for the last few laps, but we're very happy with that. P14 is still a respectable finish for us in this early stage of our career. We are, as we mentioned, the 9th slowest car, so technically we should be finishing 17th and 18th. As Carlos Sainz takes the fastest lap on the last lap. We should be finishing 17th and 18th, but we are not finishing 17th and 18th. We're finishing 14th or 15th, showing pace of the 7th slowest team. So we're very happy with that. The difficulty setting is about right, really. Australia was a rule unto itself. We just so happened to be quite quick there and the AI weren't quite as fast. But a number of you have said that you had similar experiences in Australia. But we're very, very pleased to come home with another strong mid-teens finish. Max Verstappen wins, Carlos Sainz second, and Sergio Perez third. I don't know what's happening with Charles Leclerc's season. He cannot catch a break in this save at the minute. Just can't help himself but have issues on track, bouncing off other people. He spun on his own on this particular occasion. Managed to put it in a wall and lose his front wing, then lost his front wing again when he was back in traffic. Charles Leclerc is just not having a very fun time of things right now. He's still able to get P7, so he's still picking up points. But Charles Leclerc down to 4th now in the standings, and Max has nearly twice as many points as him, and George Russell, who goes up into 3rd. Checo's up to 5th. We stay 13th with 2 points. Yuki and Pierre Gasly with 1 apiece. In the Constructors, will stay 9th. Level on points with AlphaTauri, so technically joint 8th, I guess. Red Bull lead the way, though. So we're delighted with the progress we've made so far. Now, I think we might have a couple of upgrades for the next Grand Prix. I beat my rival again, which is even more pleasing. No acclaim gain for Teo there as he retired, unfortunately, but the team gets a little bit as well. We kept our bonus from Distort for doing all of the practice sessions. That's something that we'll easily be able to do every single Grand Prix. We'll at least do them, even if we don't get them, which is, of course, what we did with the Quali Pace one this time around. And we'll head into round 6, which is the Spanish Grand Prix next time around. We do have a little bit of time to do some activities between now and then, and I'm going to use... I don't quite have enough for fabrication. I could do build time. We are training the build time here, I think, or where we... No, we've done the fabrication to level 1 there. I don't quite have enough for that yet. Can we add anything else on here? We've got something in the way, but actually we did do the fabrication, didn't we? So I should be able to do something there for the aero at least, and then chassis-wise, I don't think I can do anything yet. No, department capacity reached. And we can still do something for the engine there. Energy recovery system, fuel efficiency. Don't really need to worry about fuel efficiency at the minute. So I might put something into the cylinder head for engine power, considering we are so slow in a straight line. We'll do that. And something durability-wise, again, I can't do anything yet because the gearbox is in the process of being done. So activity-wise, what can we do here then? I want to try and improve my second drive, don't I? I mentioned that in the commentary, but there's nothing here to actually help improve him. So I've got, what, 6 days left? So we could do the attend the F1 esports event and then the fundraiser or the power team building. Let's do the fundraiser because we're going to need the team acclaim. And we might have enough money by the end of this to maybe go into the fabrication on the chassis department. Let's have a look. Oh, good. New parts completed. That's good news. And we don't quite have enough to do it. We need 2.5 mil. We've got 2.3. So after the next race weekend, we will have enough money to upgrade our facilities on the chassis front. I don't like the autocross or the drift, to be honest. So we'll do one of those off camera in a little bit. But for now, yeah, we need to be level 10 to get another boost to, or another sponsor to add boost to our finances. But really pleased with another P14. Spain is a track where the AI are typically strong in previous games, but I don't know if that's still the case this year on 22. We will find out in due course. That will be the race we do next on stream, the video you'll see tomorrow here on the channel. Do come across and join me today. I'll be streaming that Spanish Grand Prix this afternoon as you watch this in the morning on the Sunday. And of course, we'll be doing a watch along for the British Grand Prix as well. And of course, recording some FIFA with regards to Nottingham Forest save too. So plenty to go on this afternoon over on stream. So do come across and join me. Link in the description to Twitch. But please, drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you're getting on with your own saves as well in the comment section. But for now, that's all for this YouTube video. Thank you for your support as ever. And I will see you tomorrow here on YouTube or today on stream.